Okay, let me just put the disclaimer out there. This is just my opinion. We all have them. This is my opinion. So let me just first kind of share some backdrop and some context of how I'm thinking, and then I'll tell you what my rant is about. One time at my university, there was a group of activists on campus. It was a group primarily of white people led by a white woman. Their whole push was about anti-death penalty. And their whole point was, look, until our system is just, we can't be going around killing people, because our system does not, it has biases, there's racism, there's all these inequities, and it's just not a viable way to seek justice when our system can't be sure that we can't be sure that we're doing things fairly. So the way for them to drive their point home was they went around campus and they just hung nooses all on campus, all around. And inside of each of these nooses was like a picture of somebody who had either been found innocent with DNA evidence years after the fact. And the whole point was, hey, these are faces of real people who were impacted by the death penalty. However, imagine being a Black person walking on campus and there's nooses everywhere. You're not looking at the pictures in the nooses. You're not reading what's in the nooses. You are just seeing nooses everywhere. Okay. That's traumatizing. And the very thing or people that you're trying to advocate for are people that you're harming and bringing pain to. Okay. That is how I feel about the movie Straw with Taraji. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know what the end game was, right? We as Black women know what we experience. Was this an educational thing? Was he trying to share with the world, hey, this is what Black women, in particular Black women in poverty, experience, and how frustrating, and the cycle that you can't get out of? Was it as Black women trying to say, hey, we see you. We're showing the world your story of how hard it is, Black women, so we're putting your story out there. I do not know what the actual end game or intention was. And Taraji did wonderfully. I gotta say, I gotta give big props to Taraji. But in the process of making whatever point you were trying to make, or telling whatever story you were trying to tell, I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but me as a Black woman, I left feeling like, wow, thanks, Tyler. Just here's a bunch of pain, Black women. I know you're going through a lot, but just here's more. There was no happy ending. Spoiler alert. Sorry, there was no redemption. We know this is Black women. We know the struggle. We know what we deal with. Who was this movie intended for? And I just think that given where we are right now as Black women, this just put salt on an open wound that just will not close. I am so unclear of what this is. Now, I know there are people who are like, yeah, that's right. You told our story. I know there are people who feel seen in this. I know there are people, who feel like people will never understand what that cycle looks like. When you just can't get out of your cycle of poverty and you're getting hit this way and hit that way and hit this way and that way. And some people will never know that experience, and it's important to tell that story. All I'm saying is that in the process of telling that story, the people who you are representing or advocating for, I'm just saying me, left feeling like, that I just think it was a misfire. I can't think of any other way to say. I walked away feeling like, on one hand, Taraji was amazing. It's art form. We don't always like the different kinds of art form, but this one hit in a different way. And I just thought, Mr. Perry, sir, I don't know who this movie was for, but I know for me, I left feeling hurt. I just felt there was what were you doing? Anyway, that's my rant. That is my rant for today. I'd love to hear your comments on maybe there's a different way I can look at it. Maybe there's a different perspective I can have. But after watching that movie, I walked away feeling like, wow, thanks